Hi, and welcome back to part 2 of this week's news. In this portion, we'll talk with Brandon Fiege, owner of BF Flooring Specialties and polishing contractor that's responsible for all of the polishing work done at Home Depot Center in LA. Brandon's been through the learning curve in this industry for 10 years now, so we were really looking forward to catching up with him and picking his brain on some key areas of this industry. Here's what he had to say.
Well, we're a company that specializes in concrete and primarily in specialty concrete, with our emphasis being in polished concrete, along with restoration, repair, and all the other problems and concerns of concrete that most people can't figure out.
Okay, very nice. And how long have you been doing this for?
We're coming up on a decade right now.
On a decade?
That I've owned the own company and basically done ourselves.
Okay. And after all that time, what is it that helps you get up in the morning and polish, come to work and polish?
Come to work and polish. Well, I mean, it's a love and the passion that you can take, raw, ugly, old concrete.
Yeah.
People think, you need to cover it up and do something with it.
Right.
In this case, we can turn it into an artful masterpiece. And it amazes people that you can do what you can do with it. And it's been a challenging road to get to where we are today.
Right,
and it's satisfying when we use it.
So the end product is a huge driving force. Also, just all the work that you put in and just you're finally understanding and being able to improve everything. It helps.
Being able to overcome the learning curve, seeing that it was the most difficult thing that I've ever tried in construction.
Right.
Hardest trade. And it's probably the only one that I've really stuck with.
Yeah, okay. Well, we're glad you did because you do amazing work. You played an extremely important role. You were actually the host of this event that we were at today. And first of all, let me thank you for that because that's huge for the industry. We're polishing contractors. Everyone that sees this as a polishing contractor will benefit from something like this. So thank you for that. But what is your big driving force behind wanting to do something that could help, your competitors?
Well, besides obviously helping out the industry, having a lot of industry contacts and having a good presence in Southern California, and knowing the other key people, mostly being manufacturers, chemical guys, and other contractors like yourself. It's about promoting the industry in a positive way, not just from putting out a good end product, but from pricing it correctly and making sure it goes in the right direction and it doesn't go downhill and just spiral out to fizzle to nothing or fizzle to a commodity. Right.
Well, and we've talked about that today, right, with the different finishes that go on the floor, and we want to make sure that prices stay where they are and the craftsmanship stays where it is. And so you feel education and providing information like this through these events will help.
Not just to the contractor, but most importantly to the architect that can specify the job, and even more importantly, understand what they're specifying to where it keeps it at a good quality level. Not just, they write something on the spec and it never gets followed and someone gets put out there or whatever,
Right. Okay, good. Now, like you said, you've been in this almost a decade. You've seen a lot of changes go on in the industry. Is there anything that you're excited about or that you see, from these past few years that you're starting to see grow in the industry, or anything that you're starting to see any positive light that you're starting to see come out in the past 10 years? And now it's like...
In the past 2 to 3 years, the best thing that I've seen come from the industry is the fact that polished concrete itself is starting to be acknowledged. It's starting to be more specified, it's being used, and it's understood the benefits of it. With that said, with more of it being put out there in the field and on the floors, prices have been driven down. So as the quality's been variable, but for the most part, it's neat to see architects talking about it, and putting it in all the jobs that they specify.
Okay. With all your experience and knowledge in this industry, what's a piece of information that you give someone that was considering getting into this type of work?
Start out buying a single piece of equipment. Understand you need quite a bit of tooling to address all the different types of concrete, being the bonds, the hardness and the softness of the concrete. And start with doing grinding only and prep, and transition into polished concrete. My best transition. It would be the best way of jumping into the industry as opposed to just selling a large polished job and understanding that you are going to lose your first quite a few jobs.
Right. Well, and I like the approach of starting with grinding because to to learn that aspect of it is huge, right? I mean, to go right into polishing, then all you're doing is making things shiny, and you're not necessarily giving these people the floor that they're looking for the long term. And so, you know, if you take the easy way out of first, you might never go back.
Exactly. Not to mention, this is not a science. This is artwork,
Yeah.
which people don't understand, and that's the misconception in our industry. There's not a book you can read. There's not one person you can talk to that's
Right.
going to give you the right answer. Every floor is different, and even inside of each floor, there's differences in each one.
Right.
To where the knowledge to be able to tackle each one of your issues as they come up, that's where the experience.
Yeah, well, exactly. You're absolutely right. You can't really even teach everything to one person, right? I mean, the only way that you're going to know how to handle this is really the best polisher is someone that has the access to the most tools in terms of here's how you handle this situation, here's how you handle this situation, and bringing them all together, and then taking that knowledge and then applying it to that situation, which is still different than all the other situations. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you very much for spending time with us. Thank you very much for putting this whole event together. We really appreciate it. Hopefully we can do it again, maybe in a couple months or a few months. We'll see how it
Doors
goes.
always open.
Awesome. And good luck in 2013.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much,
Appreciate
man.
it.
Thank you. After talking with Brandon for just a few minutes, you realize why he's helping to lead the charge in the polishing industry. We have a strong feeling we'll be seeing a lot more of Brandon and his team at BF Flooring Specialties in the near future. Be sure to click the next video to watch an overview of Brandon's $300,000 Hydro Blaster machine. Yes, it's as cool as it sounds. And it's sure to open a few eyes into other methods of removing and prepping concrete for polished finish. See you in the next video.